save me some.
Hello, my friends. How you doing today? I am doing well. Hey, whoa, got a cramp. Got a bad cramp. I don't know what the hell.
You can do it!
I don't know what the heck that was. I got packages. I got packages in the mail. Gotta tell you. Starts falling. I gotta tell you. Today was a little bit of a rough day. Now, listen. This is the way it works. Back in the past, I teach preschool. If you're new to the channel, I am a preschool teacher. Yes, I'm a male preschool teacher. And what I signed up for was to teach pre-K. Pre-kindergarten is what I feel like I signed up for. In the past, I always taught kids that were 3.9 to 5, 6 years old. So 3.9, 4, 5, or 6. Get preparing children for kindergarten. Now, the issue is that I talk a lot. Yeah, if you watch this channel, you know I talk a lot. And I like to give lessons, life lessons, teach the kids what they need to know in order for them to move on to preschool, to kindergarten. Okay, that's what I'm good at. The issue with my new job is that I am now teaching. I'm having children come up that are actually 2.9. So these are babies. These kids are still in diapers. Some of them are pull-ups. So and they don't have the attention span that a 4 and a 5-year-old might have, which is perfectly understandable. I mean, some kids don't reach milestones at a certain age, and if you look at guidelines for children and everything like that, a preschool is not really supposed to, or daycare, or preschool, whatever, is not really supposed to push up a child until they have met a certain amount of guidelines or milestones. So if I got a child that can't speak, they very well shouldn't be in my class. If they can't express themselves, if they can't use their words, if they can't tell me what they want or what they need, if they can't go to the bathroom on their own, and I have to send them downstairs to have a diaper change, there may be a problem. And I got to tell you, I've done this. I did this 7 years prior before this, so about 10 years total I've been doing this. And I'm really good at preparing children for kindergarten. Getting them to learn how to read, getting them to learn how to write, getting them to learn how to write their names, getting them to learn how to hold a pencil correctly, getting them to learn how to be good individuals. I mean, I did a lesson this morning on heroes, and the normal response for children on heroes is Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, whatever superhero might be. But I flipped it on them. I'm like, no. Those are fake superheroes. Those are fake heroes. Those aren't the real heroes. The heroes that I'm talking about are helpers, community helpers, people that want to help. So these are the normal kind of conversations I have with them. And then I got the 4 and 5-year-olds that are raising their hands, ready for kindergarten. They're like, oh, I got one. I'm like, okay, policemen. I'm like, yeah, policemen. Policemen are heroes. Yes. People in the military, people in the army are heroes. Yes, great. And we're going on and on. I'm like, how about the trashmen? Are trashmen heroes? And they were like, oh, no. I'm like, I want you to think about this, okay? If there were no trashmen on this world, in this world to do this job, to pick up the trash, we would be living in a very dirty world full of flies and raccoons and dogs ripping up our bags and stuff. I said, there's a reason why we have trashmen. And I consider a trashman to be a hero, okay? Because they saved me from having to live in a life of stink. And the story this morning I told the kids was I was actually driving to work this morning. And the first time I've actually ever seen this in probably my life, the driver from the garbage truck was actually he got out of the truck and he went and helped the guy in the back to throw all of the garbage bags into the back of the truck. And let me make sure it's okay. So I'm like, I slow my car down. I roll down the windows. I'm like, good morning, guys. I'm like, I just want to thank you. I want to let you know I appreciate you for what you do around here. I'm saying, and they looked at. Listen, these guys look stunned. Okay, stunned. Like nobody's ever thanked a trash man before in their entire life. And the guys were like, oh, well, thank you. And I drove off. And all that went through my head was like, did it take that much for me to pull over and to tell them what a great job they were doing and how I appreciated them for the job that they did. And that's what came up with my whole lesson on heroes this morning, was the fact that I started thinking about the trash man. I started thinking about the policemen and the firemen and the people in the military and all that stuff like that. And how the fact that children that a 4 or 5, 3, 4, and 5 or whatever, they don't realize that these are the heroes. It's not Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, and all the Hulk. It ain't those people. Those people don't even, those characters don't even exist. It's these people, the real people. So if you throw a child in an age group like that, if you throw a 2.9 baby into an age group where the kids are like 4, 5, and 6 years old, it tends to, it drains me. It drains me of my superpowers. Okay, I can't properly teach a child, or I can't teach 8 other children when the 9th child is a baby. And the issue I had this morning, this was the issue I had. So I go there with this conversation I'm ready to have with the kids, and they're into it and everything. And I got this one child that's like 2.9, or just turned 3 or whatever, that didn't reach the milestones, has not reached the milestones, barely speaks, grunts, growls, can't use their words, doesn't explain themselves properly. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden this child is laying down, and she's kicking this other little girl behind her. Now she's the only one laying down on her belly, and all the rest of the class is sitting there with their legs crossed, hands in their laps, listening to me talk about this thing. They're raising their hands and asking questions, and this little girl's kicking this other little, she's laying on her belly, she's kicking the girl behind her. And I'm like, you can't do that. I'm like, sit up. Sit up. Sit up. I'm like, so I paused a bit. The kid's in a diaper. The kid's got his finger up his nose all day. The kid doesn't know how to raise his hand. The kid doesn't know how to hold a pencil. The kid doesn't know how to hold a crayon. The kid doesn't know how to do anything but poop himself, pick his nose, and throw things around the classroom and run around the classroom. And that ruins everything for the 3.9-year-olds, the 4-year-olds, the 5-year-olds, and the 6-year-olds that are coming to school to learn, to have an experience, to have fun, I mean, literally, I'm at a place where I schedule all of my events around this one child. And that's not a way to run a classroom. It's like I can't do any fun things on the days that this child is there. And that's very, very difficult for a teacher, especially since the child is there quite a bit. It's not fair to the other children. It's just not fair. It tears at me. It literally tears at me, because I'm like, I'm trying my very, very best, but I'm alone. I'm by myself with 9 kids every day. If I have one kid that's out of whack and not listening, or throwing a fit, or throwing a tantrum, or whatever, and I got 8 of them that are sitting there like little angels, just ready to learn, and just like sponges, they're excited. They're like, teach me something. I want to be. I had a kid that was crying the other day. Parent came to pick him up, and they were like, I don't want to leave. I want to learn. I want to learn more. I want to stay here. I want to stay here and learn. That made me feel good. I'm like, this kid actually cares. This kid wants to learn something. When the last school I worked at, it was preschool, pre-K. They had infant and toddler. They had the toddler section, and they had the baby infants, just the infants or whatever. So there was all these little groups or whatever. And then I taught the pre-K. I was every child in my class, with the exception of maybe about 3 or 4, were graduates. All the rest of the children, the other ones that weren't ready to graduate, had the attention span and the ability to learn. The problem is, at this place where I'm at, is the kids don't have the attention span. They don't have the ability yet to learn. They're not ready yet. And it breaks my heart. Sometimes I come home and I feel totally defeated. I feel like, wow, that didn't go the way it should have went, because I had that one kid that was just kicking this little girl and hitting this little girl, or throwing things, or throwing tantrums, or throwing fits, or whatever, and it ruined everything. Like, when you're trying to do something, if you're playing a game with the kids or whatever, and you have one child that just can't figure it out, and because they don't have the mental capability yet to figure it out, it's a problem. It's a major problem for a preschool teacher, or a pre-K teacher. Okay, in my head, I was like, I'll be teaching 3.9. 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and probably the occasional 6-year-olds, because the cutoff date for moving up to kindergarten sometimes is not the right date. So I'm thinking that there's plenty of those age groups to be put in my class. I'm a male preschool teacher. Give me the opportunity to do what I got to do and get the job done right. But unfortunately, doesn't seem to be what's going on. That's not what's going on in my world right now. Uh, what's going on is I got a big fear that's just building up, and that I'm gonna have children in there, and before you know it, I'm gonna be a babysitter, and I didn't sign up to be a babysitter. Okay, one thing I'm not is a babysitter. Okay, I strongly believe that these children, sometimes they have really good home lives, and sometimes they really have really bad home lives. I feel like sometimes parents don't pay much attention to them, so they go to pre-K or whatever, and they come to my class, and I give them the love and attention that I feel like they need, and I teach them the things that they need in order for them to move up and go to kindergarten and become very, very educated children. Matter of fact, in the last school I worked at, I had parents that used to come back to visit, and not to complain, but they would literally say, his teacher is saying that he's too advanced for kindergarten. He's at school and he's a little bit bored because he already knows how to read. He already knows how to write. He already knows how to do all of these things that it's all, he knows his alphabet. He can count to 100. He knows how to do all these things because you taught it to him. And they weren't mad at me, but they were just like, you did a great job what you did with him. The kid's like a genius in his kindergarten class because of you. And it gets very discouraging some days, and I get out of work and I'm like, it wasn't fair to those 8 kids that I couldn't have a snowball fight with them in the classroom. It wasn't fair to those 8 kids that I couldn't pull out the go-karts and the little cart things and let them play. It wasn't fair to those kids that we didn't get to play this alphabet game or this number game because this 2-year-old or 3-year-old that's not ready to be up here is here. It's very draining on a person. Now, if I had a assistant, that would probably be a different story, because when this child got out of hand, I could be like, okay, can you step in and give he or she a little bit of one-on-one that they need, and I could work with that. But the fact that I'm there alone, it's very, very, very draining on my being. Okay, my total being. I come home sometimes and I'm like, damn, what a day that was. What a day that was. And it was all because of one child. It was all because of one child that shouldn't even be there. You done messed up! Should not even be in that classroom yet. Should have stayed where she was or he was until he or she was ready, till they reached those milestones, till they reached that could hold a pencil, to reach that knows when to tell me they have to go to the potty or go to the bathroom, whatever. No, listen, there's milestones that they have to reach. This is why I've always said that I'd probably never be able to own my own preschool. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, I would have such a hard time taking money from people, from parents and stuff like that. Especially if I knew their background and the issues that they were going through. The last place I worked at, I used to have parents that used to hand over their money, and they'd be in tears sometimes. They're like, I had to work for 2 weeks to pay for my 3 kids to come to this school. And so in my head, like right there was something. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you're working 2 weeks to pay for your 3 children to come to this school and get an education, to get an experience, to get taken care of and loved and cared for and done in a right way. You sent them here you're paying $900 or $1,000 for your kids to come here, 3 of them to come here. The least I can do is give my very all and give them that education and love and attention that they need and they deserve. But when you have one kid that's not ready, it takes away from those kids. So years of me seeing stuff like this is really taking a toll on me. It really has. And when I get a child that I know is not ready mentally to be in my class, cannot sit with their legs crossed for a half an hour or 45 minutes, cannot open up their own food or tell me what food, even tell me what food they want, can't throw a ball or catch a ball, or if they lose at a game or lose at something, they throw a fit and I'm not talking tantrums like they're upset and they just go hide in the corner. I'm talking tantrums where they throw their bodies onto the floor, kicking and screaming, yelling and screaming at me, spitting and that's what children like that. I need an assistant. I need a helper, or I need them not to be there. They shouldn't be in this age group. Another thing that gets me is I think safety wise, it's not a good thing. I think safety wise, I don't know. It's called EEC, was it education? Anyway, early childhood education, but what's the EE in the C? Anyway, I don't know why they came up with that whole thing where it should be 2.9 is okay to be in with 4 and 5 year olds, because safety wise, it's not good. Okay, because some of these five and 6 year olds are giants compared to these 3 year old children, and a child that's 3 years old could get hurt very, very easily by a 4 or 5 or 6 year old. Okay, so it to me, it's a little bit mind blowing that that's even allowed, that they even allow them to do that. I will tell you that at the other school I was at, they used to have after school care, and the after school care used to scare the hell out of me. And I'll tell you why it scared the hell out of me, because we had kids that were coming in after school care, and these kids were like 10 years old, 14 years old, 12 years old, and I'm like, they have no business being around 3, 4, 5, 6 year old kids running around playing in the schoolyard. I mean, these kids are literally grabbing basketballs off of kids and slam dunking the balls and pushing kids on the ground, making them cry. Yeah, I had an older kid one time get another kid in a tree house, and they were showing each other their private parts. It's like, it's not safe. Okay, it's not. I don't know why preschools allow after school care. I don't understand. Especially, I could understand after school care if the kid was like 5, but when the kid's like 14 years old, 13 years old, 12 years old, whatever, they have no business being in any after school care. So for safety's sake, I really hope that eventually the early childhood people start to realize that the age group is just not right. I mean, you gotta keep the 2.9 and the 3 year olds kind of together. You know what I mean? It should be 1, 2. Well, actually, two. The babies, and then you got the toddlers, and then you got your preschool, and then you have your pre-K. And the sad thing is that there's jobs. I always told my kids this, and I learned this from a comedian a long time ago. There's jobs and there's careers. Some people have jobs that they get up every day. A job is a thing that you do every single day in order to make money so you can pay your bills, pay your house, pay for your car. That's a job. A career is something that you get up every day and you look forward to, and you do it. And if you, technically you would, if you would, you're so happy at it that you would do it for nothing. You would do it for nothing at all if you could. And that's where I was at certain points in my life with this teaching preschool thing. At the other school and at this school, I was at, this is a career. I'm enjoying myself. I'm feeling the love. I'm giving the love back. I'm teaching. We're getting it's reciprocating. It's going back and forth. You know what I mean? And I'm able to do what I need to do. And then you have days or years or months or whatever where you reach like this point where you're like, wow, man, what am I doing here? I'm a babysitter. I turned into a babysitter. And the sad thing is that I am a male, and this isn't like a sexist thing, but I'm a male, and I tend to, the way I teach is different from the way a female teacher would teach. It's just it just is. I mean, I'm just, the way I carry myself, the way it is different. It's just, everything's different. My standards are very high for my class. And when I get a child that's a baby that comes up into the class and they're throwing themselves on the floor and they're kicking the other kids, that child that came in that was being kicked, they didn't come to school that day to be kicked. They didn't come to school that day to be yelled at or screamed at or growled at. They came to school to be educated, have some fun, learn some stuff, play some games, whatever. They didn't come to school to be watching me battle with a baby. So yeah, it gets a little frustrating, but I felt like I needed to verbalize that because I don't go to counseling. This, to me, this is counseling. To me, you are my therapist, and if you are a teacher of any sort, please comment below if you agree or disagree. Do you agree that for the safety of the children, that children that are 2.9 years old should not be in the same room as a 4, 5, and 6 year old? They just shouldn't. Safety wise, it's not a good thing. And if they are going to be, don't you agree that there should be more than one person in the room? There should definitely be more than one person in the room. I feel, because when that child does something, either gets hurt or whatever, or hurts somebody else or whatever it is, everything stops. And now my eye's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be, I gotta keep an eye on these 8 that are going through whatever, while this one's doing this tantrum thing, or this one just got done hurting himself. So or one of the 5-year-olds just slapped the 3-year-old because he or she was getting on their nerves. It happens all the time, because it's just like, children get fed up just like I get fed up. Listen, these people are just tiny little humans, just like us. They have breaking points just like we do. Okay, we all have our breaking point, and if you got a 2-year-old or just barely 3-year-old poking at you, kicking you, eventually you're gonna haul out and belt them. That's what's gonna happen. And safety wise, it's very difficult for a teacher. It's very difficult for me to have to deal with that, because in my head I'm like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. There's only so much somebody can take before they snap and they retaliate. And for some reason, the early childhood people have not figured this out yet. They haven't figured out that it should be infant, and maybe infant and toddler, and then maybe toddler, and then preschool, and then pre-K. And where I want to be is at the pre-K level. I don't want to be at the preschool level. I don't want to be taking care of babies, or cleaning up poop, or reminding them that they have to pee. The children in my class should be able to tell me that they have to go to the bathroom. Every child in my class should be able to tell me, hey, I have to go to the bathroom, or I have to go use the potty, or I have to go, use the toilet. Every single child should be able to tell me that. And that's just not the case. And I don't think it's going to get better. I think it's actually going to get worse, because as more children start to come in, children are going to have to be moved up faster. And as they're starting to get moved up faster, I'm going to get more kids with more of these issues. And before you know it, either my class is going to turn into just a regular preschool class where I got all like these 2.9 children, which is an age I don't want to be with. And I won't be able to teach what I want to teach. So I won't be a teacher anymore. I'll be a babysitter. And what will happen is, once I become that babysitter, I'll be a miserable babysitter. And because that's not what I signed up for. That's not what I signed up for. And with that said, I got some stuff to open up. This one comes from Bot Covert from New York. And it says Fragile on it. So thank you, Bart. Bart was his name. And Bart was his name. Yeah, that came from Blazing Saddles, yeah. With Gene Wilder and Dabney Coleman, and Mel Brooks. We have a copy of Hugh Jackman in Real Steel. Hey, this is an upgrade. Isn't this a great movie? I mean, I gotta tell you, I saw this. This was one of those that kind of easily could have flew right by the radar, but it didn't. I bought it on DVD. Decided to upgrade it to Blu-ray. This is just a Blu-ray DVD combo. No digital code whatsoever. If you have not seen Real Steel, it's real easy for me to explain. So Hugh Jackman's hanging out with his son. Him and his son don't get along very good. They find this robot over here in like the junkyard, and they break into this junkyard that they're not supposed to be into, and they build this robot because in the future there's robot boxing, and it's actually really, really cool. There is a lot of CGI stuff in here, and I'm not a big CGI guy, but the storyline behind this, Hugh Jackman's acting behind. So Hugh Jackman was a boxer, and what they do is pretty much they put themselves in this harness and they fight, and when they fight, they actually fight as the robot. So he's actually training this robot to be a fighter like he was back in the day, and it's just this was a really, really good movie. If you have not seen it, Real Steel, you're probably looking at me like, buddy, it's Real Steel. Come on, even my female viewers are probably like, Real Steel. Listen, it's got Hugh Jackman in it. Okay, come on, you guys, everybody loves Hugh Jackman. He's the greatest showman. But this movie was just really, really good, and I was like, I need to upgrade it. I need to upgrade this in my collection, because the DVD was okay, but the Blu-ray is a step up. It's just a step up. Will I go to 4K? No. No need to go to 4K. But Real Steel is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I don't know if you're a streamer, and I'm sure it's streaming on something. But if not, yeah, literally I paid $4 for that on eBay. Is open, is used, but I'm dropping stuff. Yeah, I had to pick that up. What is this? Wait a minute. Hold on, because this looks like it's already cracked. All right. This came from, my eyes are going, Joshua Catalittle from California. He's from California, Joshua Catalittle. Let's see what the Catalittle man gave me here. Okay. Another upgrade, and this is one that I took a chance on, and I took a chance on it, and here's where my regular viewers are gonna call me out on this. You're going to call me out on this because you're going to be like, dude, this is something you never do, and you just did it. Yep, I did it, all right. I did it. And what I got here is the 4K Ultra HD. There is no digital code. I bought it used. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And you're probably like, you're not a 4K guy. You're constantly telling us that Blu-ray is good enough. Well, the deal is, when it comes to my absolute favorite movies of all time, nothing is good enough. Okay, I gotta own every single format, from VHS to 4K to Blu-ray to Laserdisc to whatever I can get my hands on. And in the case of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, this is just one of them movies. This movie is very dear to me because this was probably one of my son's favorite movies. We watched this together when he was real little. He took a liking to it. He loves this movie. I love this movie. I legitimately wanted to see what a 4K upgrade from a Blu-ray looked like, as far as Ferris Bueller's Day Off looks like. So I did go on YouTube. I did do a little research on it. There is a guy that does a side-by-side comparison. I did see the difference, and I was like, was it a big difference? It was enough for me to say I can pull a trigger on a used copy of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I did come with a slipcover, which makes me very happy. And unfortunately, the only thing that my little drawback and problem I have is I'm going to have to put it on the side of my Blu-ray because, like, what's this company? What company? Paramount. Paramount's got this new thing now where they don't give you the Blu-ray and the 4K combo pack. Now it's like you just get the 4K. You got to buy the Blu-ray separate. You get the 4K. That's all you get. They're doing it with a lot of movies now. Little upsetting because I would have just bought this 4K Blu-ray combo pack and then got rid of my Ferris Bueller Blu-ray. I would have boxed it up and I would have put this over there because I literally, I'm looking up there right now. You see how my eyes up because I'm looking at the Ferris Bueller's Day Off Steelbook that I never opened. Yes, I even own the Steelbook because I love the movie that much. Because it's not just that I love the movie that much. It's that it has. Listen, I'm gonna say it. And if I ever have any merch made up, it's what my merch is going to say. Movies are memories. And I have very good memories of spending time with my son when he was younger, watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I have memories of him talking about it and quoting it. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure one of the quotes in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, actually, I quote it. Did he quote it? I quoted it. I think, and I don't know if he did the same thing or I did it. In the yearbook, I'm pretty sure my son did the quote there, if we don't stop and look around, you might just miss it, which was a quote from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So this movie is very, very special to me. Love this movie. It doesn't really need any explanation of it. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you know what my channel's about, and you've had to have seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off at least once in your life. It's just a classic. Next one I got is in this big, what the heck is this? It's in a big thing here. Liparate, Liparit, Liparit, Karapatin. Wow. So these things should come with photos of the people that sent them to me because I want to know what this guy or this girl, I don't even know if it's a guy or girl. Liparit, Liparit. Karapetayan. Okay, check this out. Ready? Karapetyan from Glendale, California. Lipatit Karapetayan. I don't know what that is. Okay, listen, I don't know what nationality that is, but these things should come with photographs because I would love to see what a Lipatit Karapetayan is. I don't know if that's a boy or a girl. I don't even know. And what I got from them was look, they wrapped it in some kind of space age foil. Came from not only are they from Lipatit from maybe from a different country, they might be from a different planet. They might be from the planet Foil, okay, where they wrap this stuff in foil. And it's a copy of, thank you, Mr. Lipatit or Mrs. Lipatit, of the Criterion Collection, which is only sold at the Barnes & Noble, of Rosemary's Baby. And this actually comes with the Blu-ray. This is the Blu-ray, yes, because like I said, I'm a Blu-ray guy, not a 4K guy. And I have never seen Rosemary's Babies before. But I was been told, being a Exorcist fan, that I would probably be It comes in a book, by the way, as always. The Barnes and Noble and the Criterions, they want you to read and not just watch movies. So they got to throw the book in with the movie at all the time. Unfortunately, I'm never gonna read the book. Okay, this is not even a sit on a crapper type book. I really don't care about the to read. More than likely, everything that's in this book is probably in the special features, the 5 billion special features that they give, that a Criterion gives you. The book is totally. I see a lot of people unboxing Criterions and open up Criterions and like, oh, it comes with an awesome book and these lobby cards and all this stuff like that. And all that goes to my head is it's unnecessary. A lot of stuff is unnecessary, like because most people that are physical media collectors don't really read books. They're not readers. I mean, I could be totally wrong, but let's just say everyone that I know that is a physical media collector is not a book reader. They're not sitting there not reading graphic novels, not reading whatever. Listen, if I wanna watch it, I'm gonna watch it. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read the book it. Okay, that book's big. That's a big book. I don't want to read that book. Listen, if I want to watch the Hobbits, I'm gonna watch the Hobbits. Have you seen the Hobbit books? That's a big book. Okay, Harry Potter, those are big books. I'm not gonna read that stuff. And a lot of people say the book is so much better than the movie. But I don't know and I don't care. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know and I don't care because I'm not gonna read any Harry Potter books because they're too damn big. Okay, if I might buy an audio, now this is the trick with me. I'm big on audiobooks. I will buy an audiobook and I will put an audiobook in my CD player and I will go to bed at night and listen to an audiobook of Harry Potter or whatever. Okay, but I will not sit there and read a big thick book. Okay, so the deal is I don't know what Criterion. I think Criterion feels like, since it's sold at the Barnes and Noble, and the Barnes and Noble is a bookstore, then every single thing that they have to have has to have an accompanying book to go with it. And I don't think that that's 100% true. I think that Criterion could do just fine without the books. I know some people get a big rise out of the book. They're like, oh, it's what a wonderful thick book. It comes with a great thick book, and they're all excited about it. But comment below, how many of you people are really reading these books? Who is you Criterion collectors? This is a question for you, and I want you to be honest. Don't give me one of these things like, yeah, I sat there, and guess what? I sat there and I read the whole book from beginning to end, and what a book it was. Listen, this is okay. Not only is this a decent sized book, okay, so I'm gonna just kind of show you this for a second here. How many pages we got here? So I'll call it a decent sized book. We're talking. All right, so we're talking 28 pages in this book. Now, this is actually a smaller of the Criterion books. But I want you to look at the writing. I want you to look at number one, I'm getting older. I can't see. Even if I could see, I wouldn't read it. But, I mean, the writing in these books are very, very small. I might look at it for the pictures. Or, like, oh, nice picture. They got a floor plan. They got a little stuff going. Yeah, for that. Besides that, useless to me. Totally useless. All it does is just cover up the beautiful art on the inside or whatever. And, I mean, I am a completist, so I do like the fact that there is a book in it. But am I going to read it? No. Are you going to read it? Okay, please, comment below and be honest. You people that collect Criterion movies, Criterion Collection movies, are you reading the books? Are you really? Okay, are you sitting on the crapper reading the books? Okay, or and this is another question. If you get the movie, I love how I put that over there. I bring it back. You get the movie. Are you like when you open up? You're like, oh man, I'm so like. I just opened up this package. I'm like, yeah. Can't wait to read the book. I can't wait. I got Rosemary's Baby, and you know what? Screw that Blu-ray. I'm not gonna watch that Blu-ray. No, I'm not gonna watch that Blu-ray yet because I got this whole book to read first, and then I'll watch the movie. Now that I don't think that's. I don't think any physical movie media collector does that. I really don't think so. I'm sorry. I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm just gonna take a jump in the wind, jump in the sky, shot in the dark. I'll use an Ozzy Osbourne. Take a shot in the dark that you guys are not reading these books. You're not reading these books. You're sticking them back inside here, and then you're watching the movie and you're filing it. And you're probably watching all these awesome special features. Listen, I'm not bad mouthing Criterion. You guys are amazing, and the special features you give me are amazing. The picture quality is amazing. The stuff that you guys do with these things are amazing. But the books, lobby cards, all that stuff like that, not necessary. I think most of us don't even care. And with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. And let me say that when I say I appreciate you, I mean it. I mean it. I do appreciate you because things do get difficult for me sometimes, and I will give you a very very serious thing going on here. That when I drive up to my job in the morning, I get there 10 minutes early every morning, and I park my car and I sit in my car. Sometimes I get there early. I was actually so I actually get out of my car 10 minutes early to go into the building and start getting prepping for my class and everything. So I get there early in the 10 minutes. So I get there and I will open up my YouTube app that I have, the app on my phone, and I will read and reply to every single one of your comments every single morning before I go into work. And I got to tell you that sometimes I get a lot of joy. It brings me a lot of joy when either people ask me questions or they make comments about an episode that they watched, or they're like, "Wow, that's really cool," or can you give me a little advice on this, or what, or hey, no, yeah, listen, you're an idiot. I read the even if you said you're an idiot, I read the books. Even if you said something like that, I would still look at it like, okay, well, then I apologize, sir. You're that person that actually opens it up and says, screw the media right now. I'm here to read the book. I don't even know why the media's in there. Okay, I bought it for the book, But I'll just tell you that it does mean a lot to me, because my days sometimes don't work out very well, and if I can wake up in the morning and have a little bit of a highlight of somebody that I knew that sat there and watched the video of me talking about movies or toys or music or my life or whatever for like 45 minutes or 15 minutes or 25, whatever time the video goes on for. I don't keep track of it. Some people keep track. They're like, oh, we got to keep these things under 15 minutes because people have short attention spans. Listen, when you watch my channel, you get whatever is going on in my life right now. Whatever's going on in my mind, that's what you get. And the video stops when my mind has stopped. And my mind pretty much never stops. So you're lucky I just figure I'll save you guys from a lot of pain and agony. So with that said, my friends, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you each and every day. I appreciate your subscriptions. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your sharing. I appreciate everything about what you do. I appreciate your good comments. I appreciate your bad comments. I appreciate. Listen, I got attacked a couple times verbally I appreciated those too. It was fun to debate with somebody. I'm all for a debate. Okay, and if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm wrong about something, because that's just the way I am. I'm an open book, transparent. You'll never find anybody else like me that just no filter, right out there and telling you like it is. If I'm wrong about something, I'm gonna admit I'm wrong, and I'm gonna apologize to you for being wrong. If I'm right about something, I'm gonna damn well sure prove that I'm right about it or whatever. And in the case of the Criterion collections, you could tell me, hey, sir, you're way off base. I read the book. With that said, my friends, thank you so much, and I'll see you later.
You should have saved me some.